On there we go. Hopefully that's unmuted. Buongiorno, everyone. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. I'll take those specs off so they're not reflecting too much as we do reflect on last night's win over Man City and obviously the cup draw. Didn't get a chance to talk about it last night. The video went out beforehand as the draw took ages, as it always did. And then there was a conspiracy over that draw. There was an ex-Mackham player that did the draw, and he had conspiracy theorists on Twitter saying that he pulled out Man United away on purpose. We'll get into all that. We'll talk about the game again last night. Most importantly, I want to hear from you lot in the chat. Get your questions in, get your thoughts in, and we'll have a bit of interaction with you lot. As it is the Thursday Toon Talk Live. Every Thursday at 7 p.m, this is what we're going to try and do. Try and stick to the schedule for the live shows. Obviously, we had Transfer Talk Live during the summer. Now we've got Toon Talk Live. Now the window has closed. Before we do get into the video, this one is sponsored by Circle. You can see the QR code in the top corner of your screen. You can see the information run along the bottom of your screen about it as well. A couple of quid enter, and you could become a millionaire. Very easy, very fun. Get involved in Circle. Shout out to everyone that's already tuned in. Comments flying in already. Let me see what you're saying. I'll have to zoom in without the specs on. Should have put the contact lenses in for this one with the bright lights. Johnny says, for all it was a game of two halves, really pleased defensively with a 10-man change team in the first half. Well, this is what I was saying in the reaction last night. You know, to make 10 changes. And when we saw that team, and you saw Dummett and Lascelles together, and you saw Louis Miley getting his debut, his first start in the middle of the park there, you were, a little bit worried, weren't we? Let's be honest. And everyone in Shearer's ball before the game was the same, saying the same things, thinking the same. But then I saw the City team, and even though it did have Alvarez, Grealish, Gvardiol, some top players in there, it still didn't have your Haalands, your De Bruyne's and that, Rodri's. So I still said we're going to win. I said in my preview we would win. And then even though I didn't expect 10 changes, I expected about 7. It was mad to think the only player that still played last night was Nick Pope. He was the only player that started for Newcastle. 10 changes, and we still beat the best team in the world. The treble winners. Still beat them. So Johnny's right, a game of two halves. The first half was really boring, to be honest, quite dull, flat. Couldn't really get any momentum going. Lack of confidence. You could tell there was no fluidity because we'd made 10 changes. And we were just a bit slow. And then second half, whatever Eddie Howe said at half time, worked an absolute treat. It worked a treat. We came out the blocks flying. Obviously, the 2 changes making the massive difference in Bruno and Anthony Gordon. So once that was done, we switched things up and went on to win the game. That opening 5-10 minutes of the second half was blistering. It was unbelievable, electric, and exactly what the crowd wanted and needed. The crowd fed off the energy of your Gordons, chasing people down, interceptions from everyone, Isak celebrating the tackle more than his goal. That's what you want. You want that hunger, you want that desire, and the fans appreciated that hard graft. So, unbelievable win last night. We might talk about it a bit more later on. Buongiorno, John. Immense last night. Thought Bruno didn't get enough credit. Thought he was back to his best. He really was. And was he back to his best because he wants to play for Pep? I've seen a lot of clips from the full-time whistle last night, and Pep Guardiola goes over to Bruno, has a good chat with him. Good few minutes. Chat with Bruno. I'd love to know what he was saying there. Probably bigging him up and saying, I tell you what, Bruno, we'll have that 100 million release clause activated soon. Didn't you worry, lad? Hopefully not. Why would you want to go there? Just beat them. Do you know what I mean? We're in the Champions League. Just beat them. So... we'll see. But Bruno was fantastic last night. I thought he was very good against Sheffield, but that was Sheffield. Last night was more of a test, and he was quality, as John says, and hopefully the same again on Saturday, because we will touch a little bit on Burnley as well in this video. We've got the press conference tomorrow. We'll see about some injuries because there was quite a few last night. Isak went off. Quite a few niggles amongst the squad. So no Burn yesterday because he was unwell. So was Dubravka. That's why he didn't come in. I thought maybe Carey should have got a chance. He probably would have if it wasn't Man City. If we were playing an Exeter, a Middlesbrough, a Port Vale, and maybe would have got, a bit of chance there for Karius. So wise choice playing Nick Pope, by the way. What a save he made early on from Alvarez, and really kept us in the game in that dogged first half. Buongiorno, Ian. Good afternoon, Kevin from Florida. Wish I was in Florida right now. Evening, Aaron. What we got? Evening. Aaron, yeah. Daniel's just voted. Cheers, Daniel. Again, people, if you haven't already, please do vote for me at the Football Content Awards. I have been nominated now, so everyone who did vote for us to get there, thank you very much. I am now a finalist, so you can go ahead and vote on the Football Content Awards website for the best club content creator in the Premier League. Little drop-down option, click the Magpie Channel TV, done. Take you 2 seconds and it's free. The link is in one of the videos. It's not in this one. This link in this video is Circle. Evening, Aaron, Matty Lad, patient. Thanks for being a member. Also got a new member here, Daniel Golden. Thank you very much, Daniel. Tell you what, the members have been getting treated nicely lately. We've been doing giveaways, and I've got another giveaway coming up next week. I'll do it October. We'll do one a month at least. Someone just won the war beer stuff, so they won a 12-pack of beer, a t-shirt, posters, coasters, you name it. It was in that box. Next up is a bucket hat. Bucket hat for your Champions League trips. So if you fancy a little bucket hat for now, well, it won't be now. It'll be the cost of a membership. But the membership supports me, helps me run the channel. It's your way of saying, yeah, thanks for the endless, amazing content that I put out there. And the travelling, you know what I mean? The Milan trip, coming back, stuck in Stevenage till 4 a.m, nightmare. Sheffield last week, delays, nightmare. All of that worthwhile for you lot. And then, yeah, just a few quid a month helps keep this channel bubbling over nicely. Because, every penny helps, as one supermarket used to say, not an advert that. But thank you, Daniel, for becoming a member, and stay tuned in the members chat for the giveaway that's coming up next week. It'll be a Have you ever seen a Mackem in Milan bucket hat, which you can wear for Dortmund in Paris, or just any home game, or in the house, you know what I mean, watching the chase. You can wear it whenever you want, but there's a bucket hat up for grabs next week for members. So thanks, Daniel, for becoming a member. Let's go back up to the comments because I've missed quite a few out. Jackie, Ari, Matty, great win last night. It was indeed. Let's have a pint to celebrate that win. Lovely stuff, because I wasn't drinking last night at the game. Had the car, so I can enjoy that win with a pint right now. Buongiorno, everyone sees Notorious. We are going to get into the full Carabao Cup draw soon as well, by the way. The full draw, and have a look at who we could have got, bullseye style. We all know who we did get, and we'll talk about that very soon. Once I run through these comments, we will touch on the 4th round draw. Buongiorno B2. I buy Bruno with that Circle money. Well, that's what you do, Notorious. You know what I mean? If you win the Circle game, cost you a couple of quid, become a millionaire, you can buy yourself a Bruno Guimaraes. Just, have him as a house pet. Play him on the weekend, and then you can just play FIFA against him that during the week, walk the dogs with him, whatever you want. Do you know what I mean? Aaron, can't believe we beat Man City with Lascelles and Dummett. Neither can I. It still doesn't feel real, that one, to be honest. And you have to big them up, and I have to put respect on their name. I mean, I thought Dummett was long finished. These were playing for us 7 years ago, man, Dummett and Lascelles. And arguably their best performances ever are right up there. Last night, I think the Sellers had some good games in a Newcastle shirt, not for a while, really. Dummett as well, when he first came through and he had the passion and everything. But he's been here for so long now, and a lot of eyebrows were raised at Paul Dummett when he got that contract extension during the summer. And you thought, we'll just keep him in, the homegrown rule, keep him in the dressing room, let the new lads know what it's about to play for the tune. But I tell you what, he was worth his weight last night, totally worth it. And Eddie Howe backed him up as well afterwards, saying this is why he got an extension. And it's settled my nerves a little bit, knowing that if you need to call on these for injuries or whatever, because Botman was also injured last night, you can trust them a bit more. And I think the Sellers have really got a point to prove, and they're both thriving when they do get a chance. And they've obviously boosted their own skills and performance levels thanks to the likes of Eddie Howe as well. So it's hard because you're not going to get that every week. I think it was one of those games last night where second half and everything, it was just meant to be. But I tell you what, if you're going to call on these, you could easily play them two again against Burnley. I'd be confident of that. But obviously, we hope Sean and Botman come back in, or you could just play them and just, I tell you what, keep Sean and Botman for PSG next Wednesday. Why not? I'm not sure how Dummett would get on. He was absolutely knackered after he got cramped, didn't he? In stoppage time, 90 plus minutes, he had cramp and had to go off. And that was fair enough. Literally his first competitive game in 13 months. Last time he played competitively in the black and white was against Tranmere Rovers last year. So, big change that. But absolutely tremendous performance from our centre-backs last night. And obviously the wing-backs. I'm sure there'll be comments about Tino, as well, especially. And Livermento was sensational, wasn't he? Absolutely unbelievable. What a performance from him. Pocketed Jack Grealish, 100 million in his Castore shorts. Done. And he was unbelievable. And you've got to put him in the team now. I don't understand how he doesn't start. I think we've got to move Trippier at left back. If Byrne's still unwell, how much is he going to train this week? But for me as well, Dan Byrne, I would put Trippier left back. I would. I know Livermento can even play left back, but so you could take your pick really. But with Tino's performances and Trippier's this season, both of them need to be in the team. But not one of them can be sitting on the bench. It'd be a waste to have one of those on the bench. So with Trippier's 3 assists last week, his delivery, Tino's all-round performance, going forward and defensively, spot on. I would do that. I would play one of them at left back. Yeah, Trippier's played left back a lot for England. Played there for Atletico Madrid as well. Tino's played a little bit at left back for Southampton. So let's do it. Let's put the best players on the pitch. Give ourselves the best chance, because Burnley, like I've said there, you could play Lascelles and Dummett, but we can't sleep on Burnley too much, I don't think, because they'll be desperate for their first win. Company tries to play football, you know what I mean? It's not the Daesh ball anymore. It's not lump it long to a 6'6" striker. He tries to play it out, so there'll be goals on the weekend. It'll be an interesting game, but we'll get into that in a bit, maybe. Hi Liam, great to see Julian. I'm back in the mix with G Snara. Yes, Big Renty smashing the videos, man. Cheers, mate. Trying, blasting the content out for you. Loads of content lately, especially from Milan and everything. So if you haven't seen the videos, sort it out. What you're playing out, give them a watch. Let's get into the topic, then the main topic of the video for people who are obviously going to be watching this back after it's live, so they don't have to wait too long or skip too much. What did I think of the draw? I'm fine with it. I've seen a lot of people, I can't believe we look, Man United away, never. And I honestly, obviously get that. But for me, bring it on. I'm well up for it. We've just beat Man City. I'm not bothered about Man United. We've just beat Man City. They're better than Man United. They're the best team in the world. And we've just beat them. Ideally, it would have been at home because obviously we beat Man United at home comfortably last year after the final as well. So it's chance for that final revenge. It's chance to get revenge for that Carabao Cup final loss. And I tell you what, if we knocked Man United out after knocking Man City out, we would definitely be favourites. I think whoever wins this game will be favourites because this was obviously the final last season. Man United are the holders. I've been given it a flex already from the United View and DR Sports. He's saying, no chance. We'll definitely win. I'm telling you, we'll go to Old Trafford and we're going to knock them out. We will knock Man United out. I'm telling you now. I fancy us to go there and do the job. It's hard to say now because it's looking like Halloween, the game, to be honest. It looks like it's going to be the 31st of October or the Wednesday just after that. So it's hard to say now because what's the team going to be? And I know we made 10 changes last night, but you look at it and you think, well, what's the team going to be? Who can we rely on? So it's a tough one. It is a tough one, but I fancy our chances. I really do. I'm not scared of going to Man United. We'll get a big allocation, and I've got to say respect to the Man City fans last night. To be fair, they filled up massive amount of level 7, didn't they? I don't think I've ever seen it that busy before. Huge allocation, and we'll get the same at Old Trafford, surely. So we'll take over there. Happy Halloween. Let's get the job done. I'm telling you, I fancy it. Man United have been crap this season. I wish we were playing them in the league, especially at home already. They've been so bad. I've watched them, not been impressed at all. Ten Hag's got loads of problems going on behind the scenes with your Sanchos, your Anthonys, your Maguires, everything. And I think we can go there and make it our own. I really do. I'm buzzing for it. I'm looking forward to it. And like I say, beat them. And then we'll probably get Liverpool away next. Beat them as well. Screw it. You know what I mean? Keep the ball rolling. Because this was the draw in full. I've got it up here. The 4th round draw. Mansfield v Port Vale. So there's one of them teams going round to the 5th round. So that's a big chance for them. Wish we had got one of them in a sense, at home. But then again, we had Cambridge at home last year in the FA Cup and got beat, didn't we? So these things happen. Ipswich v Fulham. Ipswich are flying at the minute. Man United v Newcastle. Bournemouth versus Liverpool. That's not that easy of a game for Liverpool to go to, I don't think. Chelsea v Blackburn. Blackburn smashed, who was it that played last night? They won 5-2, didn't they? So, you wouldn't say Blackburn couldn't upset Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, how poor they've been. West Ham v Arsenal. That's a decent game. That's a decent game as well. See how strong of a team Arsenal play. They just edged Brentford last night, 1-0 away. Everton v Burnley, that'll be lifting. Exeter v Middlesbrough. Those would have been my preferred picks. I would have loved the Middlesbrough at home or away. That would have been mine. Closest thing we're going to get to a derby, because we know Sunderland can't get up. They can't get up the league. They're stuck in the Championship. Borough as well, to be fair. They keep coming close, and then they've had a bad start of the season. But Sunderland are obviously out the Carabao Cup. Would need a bit of luck to get them in the FA Cup. That would be lovely. But the chance of a closest derby for now would have been Middlesbrough. And I would have loved to have played Middlesbrough again. I know it's not as fierce as your Sunderland, but it's better than out. I wouldn't have minded playing Borough. And or I wouldn't have minded going to the other St James Park and playing Exeter City. That would have been a good laugh as well. But that would have been a very hard game. People saying, "Oh, take Exeter." If it's away, those are banana skins all over the shop. So those would be tricky games. But Man United for me, I'm confident. Go there for revenge. How should want to get one over in Ten Hag? The players, you seen how upset you Bruno's and that were at Wembley at full time, crying. This is your chance. And I think obviously we've seen in the documentary how up we did get for the Premier League game a couple of weeks after the defeat in the final. So this one has got to be the same. We've got to take that same energy from last night, take it to Old Trafford, crowd get behind us, we silence the Old Trafford tourists, get the job done. Tell you now. Thoughts on Gordon, mate? Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I backed him in the summer. A lot of people were still questioning it and saying what a waste of money. I said in the summer, I reckon he'll be our breakout player this year. He'll be a top player, and he's proven it. Now that he's had some fitness and sessions under Eddie Howe, he's really kicking on, and his end product is getting honed every week. That finish against Sheffield United was unbelievable. So I'm a big Anthony Gordon fan. He's so young, and his potential is massive. Like, the lad has so much potential. What else we got in the comments? Let's have a look. Keep them coming in, people. Please do subscribe and like if you haven't already. Where else are we? City are born to watch, says Jack. John Pep said he wasn't bothered about he was bothered about the game. I tell you what, I seen him whinging his head off, getting his yellow card. You know what I mean? Whinging his head off at Tyndall and the linesman and the fourth official and the referee. Oh, he was bothered. You know what I mean? To be fair, you don't become a great manager and win these competitions like you did 4 times in a row without taking it seriously and without being bothered. So for him to say he's not bothered, he's definitely bothered. He's rattled. And I hope you enjoyed that long bus ride back to Manchester last night because he was whinging about the planes not being on as well. So I hope you enjoyed that stinky bus ride back to Manny. Newcastle will win something this year, says Paul. Can't wait for Willock to get back. Stephen, big miss. Looking forward to Willock's energy in the side as well, and his goal contributions as well. It'll be great when he does come back. Andrew, how do I become a member? There should be a button, Andrew, underneath this video to become a member. It should be a blue join button. Hopefully that will be somewhere. If not, there is a link in this bio for the video as well. There's a link in the bio on the YouTube homepage, and there's a link in the video description to become a member underneath the circle. But where there's a subscribe button, there should hopefully be a join button. But if not, there is a link in the description as well. Cheers, Andrew. Like I said before, monthly giveaways for being a member. So keep your eyes peeled on that. It's our time this year. The trophy is coming home. Good win last night, Matty. Dumdini. Paul Maldini. Thank you, Jackie, for that. You know it. Thanks very much, mate. Cheers. Yeah, we won it back in 2019, best new content creator. So we're looking to win it again this year when the channel is a bit more established now, and we're up against some big people. I mean, there's people in my category with 2 million followers and that. So I need every help I can get. There's people with massive followings, so it's a bit unfair, isn't it, really? But we'll see how we get on anyway. It's going to be a good night out in Anfield. That's where the awards are. I tell you what, I'd love to celebrate there because I never really get to celebrate there as a fan, do I, watching the tune. So hopefully get to celebrate there as a YouTuber. But once again, you can go to the Football Content Awards website, best club content creator in the Premier League, and click the Magpie channel. Or you can tag us in their post on Instagram. Right then. Start Livermento and Trippier at left back and right back. Absolutely. I would like this as well, actually. When I looked at the draw last night and I seen how well Ipswich Town have been doing in the Championship, I'm sure the top are right up there. And then obviously the one in the cup the other night, was it Wolves they knocked out? I can't remember. They came back and beat a Premier League team, I'm sure. And they're having a great season. So for one, I would love to see Ipswich come up. I've never been to Ipswich. I think that would be a canny away day. And when I was growing up, Ipswich were on Match of the Day in the Premier League. So bring them back up. And obviously the Sir Bobby Robson connection, it would be nice to play them in the cup at least. This is a big question here from Solo Strikes Back. What do you think will be taken in the next 2 to 3 transfer windows to make a serious top 4 challenges given our commercial revenue from Adidas? Well, obviously, the Adidas massively helps now. £40 million a year. 40 million a year instead of your 5 million a year from Castore is a big boost, obviously. What steps will we take in the next 2 to 3 windows? Probably selling Bruno, if I'm going to be honest with you, or selling a big talent where you make 100 million, and then due to FFP, that means you can spend 300 million at least. So I think we will have to sell a big player, probably. But again, it's just keep on doing what we're doing behind the scenes. New sponsors, new partners, new kit deals, revenue. The fan zone's obviously going to increase revenue. And loads of stuff like that behind the scenes, and then keep being shrewd with the windows. Obviously, the summer just gone, we've heavily invested in youth. We're hoping that Hall and Livramento can be our fullbacks for years, and even Tonali's only 23. People kind of forget, I think, because he looks a bit older. So I would just say we'll just keep doing what we're doing and keep growing that commercial department and sponsorship revenue. You on the Irish Stout, says Ian. I am indeed the forged Irish Stout. Conor McGregor. Not a sponsor, should be. But the sponsor, I always shout out Warbia. Yeah, Warbia. I've got none left. Otherwise, I'd be drinking Warbia, but I downed a lot. Anarchy Brew, Warbia. Big them up every time. And obviously, a donation goes to War Flags. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what War Flags have in store next Wednesday for the PSG game. That night is going to, if we thought last night was good and special, my God, next Wednesday against PSG is going to be off the scale. What's happened with Castore? Well, it came out the day that we did manage to get out. Obviously, we knew we've got out the deal because Adidas has taken over next summer. But the reason being that Newcastle, your Darren Eels and Silverstones literally went to Castore and said, listen, the fans are having problems with the quality. They're having problems with the stock levels and stuff. So there was a way to get out of it then. Obviously, probably a bit of cash as well to buy them out early. But that's what's happened. Then you see other teams complain, the Aston Villas, who are sponsored by Castore, are having issues. So it's not the best, is it? I can't wait to get Adidas back. I can't wait to have those 3 stripes back in a big, proper, professional global brand. Even though, I've got to say, I think the Castore designs have been lush. I think they've been spot on. What's your opinion on the poll going about asking if you want to see Mbappe playing on Tuesday? Hope he's still injured. I hope he's still injured as well. Obviously, never wish injuring a player, and I hope he comes back in like 2 months after we've played them twice. But for me, if we've got a chance of beating them, then no Mbappe is obviously a big yes, isn't it? It's a big bonus because it takes away their main threat. I mean, he is one of the best in the world. On one hand, I understand, people have been wanting to get back in the Champions League and want to see the best players, and to see Mbappe at St. James's Park would be a bit special and would be a big experience. What I would love is Mbappe to play and Paul Dummett to pocket him, Tino Livramento again. So that would be ideal. But if Mbappe's on the pitch, it makes the task of beating PSG 100 times harder, doesn't it? So, especially early on in the group stages, I tell you what, if he's back for when we go away to PSG, which is, I think it's the last game, isn't it, in the Champions League group stages, end of November. If he's fit then that's fine. Hopefully we'll have enough points on the board where we're not like desperate in that game for a result. Then that would be all right to see him there. But I know obviously a lot of fans wouldn't get a ticket for PSG away. So there is 50,000 people, especially, the kids who have watched him on TV and played him on FIFA and everything, that would love to see Mbappe. But for me, I'd love to get out this group. And the best way of doing that is Mbappe not being there and having a greater chance to beat them. So, yeah, for me, like I say, I'd love to see Mbappe, but at the same time, if it means him missing and then we go and get 3 points next Wednesday, then I'll take that all day long. Let me know what you think. I want to hear in the comments what you think. Do you want to see Mbappe, or will you happily see him not travel, not play, and give Newcastle what you'd assume a better chance to win the game? Respect to Holland after Isak's shit after the game. This was nice to see for you that didn't see it. At full time, Holland came off the bench and they swapped shirts with Isak. So that would be a nice fresh shirt for Isak, to be fair. Isak gave Holland his sweaty one, the goal scoring one. And Holland just gave him a fresh one. May as well have been from the club shop, to be fair. He hasn't even worn it. But you'll take that. And nice mutual respect there between the two best strikers in the league. Yeah. Can't wait for the Adidas kids next year, says Stu. loads of comments again. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We're not going to go on too long this one, maybe another 5 minutes, just a half an hour show tonight. So give it a thumbs up, like if you haven't already, subscribe, and check out Circle. QR code in the top corner. Download it, even if you just download and have a look. Have a download, see what you think. You don't have to, it doesn't like pop up, oh, you must deposit some money as soon as you open the app. You can have a little play around with it, see what you think. Info's on the bottom there to get involved. Harry Matty, honestly, I think we could turn Man U over. The team we put out last night easy. I do as well. I mean, I know Man U and Ten Hag. He played a strong team against Palace, didn't he? Well, his strongest team. He still got injuries. But I don't care. We could make a few changes like we did last night. We beat City. We can beat Man United. No doubt about it. Bit more difficult because of the fact it's away and not at home, because obviously the home crowd last night at St. James's was pivotal in raising spirits and the atmosphere and the energy levels. But there'll be loads away at Old Trafford. There'll be a big allocation. We just need the players to perform on the pitch to give us something to cheer about. Go to the Terrace Bar close to make room for the sales and marketing team. A lot riding on them. It's funny that now when you walk past Terrace Bar and you walk past the Bobby Robson statue, in those offices, walked past the other day and there was Peter Silverstone just chilling. You know what I mean? Loads of them off the Amazon documentary were just there. Blinds wide open, just chilling. So they've opened that up there. I think the Terrace Bar, you've got cheers there for now, and obviously a few months' time you're going to have the fan zone. So you wouldn't miss Terrace Bar anyway, mate. Like, the fan zone's going to be class. I know it's not going to be ready till about April next year, unfortunately, but yeah, the fan zone will be better than your Terrace Bars, even though it was all right. It was all right. Can you get Warbier in the shops? Never seen it anywhere. I don't know if you can get it in the shops. You can get it in loads of pubs now. Loads of pubs, but shops I'm not sure. But you can get it off their website, and I know they ship to quite a few places, so have a look at that. I wouldn't be surprised if we sell Joe Linton in the future for FFP. Way more than 70 million. Did you see last night, Chris? Unbelievable. I tell you what, Joe Linton, I would hate to lose Joe Linton now. Like, obviously, you'd hate to lose Bruno, but Joe Linton as well. Like, what he brings to the team, that all-round, endeavour, the dogginess, the machine, the engine. You can't put a price on that. Like, you can't put a price on it at all. More than 70 million would be the price, though. Even though, like, it's age now, Maxi was sold for 20, which is obviously a bit of a joke, wasn't it, really? Should have been at least a bit more, surely. Didn't like the look of Pep talking to Bruno and Big Joe, and Pep did mention both players in his press conference afterwards. He said that was the reason Newcastle won the game, because of the Brazilian duo, Joe Linton and Bruno. So hands off Pepe, because Pepe fancies a Brazilian, doesn't he? He's been trying to get Paqueta from West Ham as well. Hi, Matty, do you think Adidas? Oh, absolutely, I mean, it's got to be. It couldn't be much worse, to be fair, than Gastor, but surely, Adidas, it's quality now. That they've been one of the biggest clothing brands in the world for so many years, forever. Surely they've got to be able to produce a really decent kit. What else was saying? I think I've caught up. So get your last few questions in and we'll round this live show off. It's been half an hour already. That has absolutely flew over. It really has. So last couple of questions, people, before we sign out. There's no point in really recapping on the City game last night. You can watch the match review for that if you haven't already. We've talked about the cup draw. I'm fine with it, me. I'm not scared of Man United. We've just beat Man City. Bring it on. There's that added juiciness there because of the finalists last year, because of the chance of revenge for me. Let's go there. Let's take it. And then next up, before the big Champions League tie next week, so there's loads of content coming your way on the channel. We've got Burnley on Saturday. We've got Champions League next week. So make sure you do subscribe if you haven't already. But Burnley on Saturday, we'll just finish off by touching on that, even though I will have a full preview out for the Burnley game tomorrow after Eddie Howe's press conference. I'm tempted to go big again and say, like a 4-0 or something like that against Burnley. But we can't be too naive or gung-ho or cocky, I think, going into this one, just because it has been a very good 10 days. Look at 4 clean sheets, 3 wins and a draw. So it's it's looking rosy. We're obviously putting 8 past Sheffield United, beating City last night, the treble winners. But Burnley with company are going to come here to try and win, which could, and I think will, play in our advantage. It's going to be an open game. It's going to be a chance for us to be direct, because we might struggle against if this was a Sean Dyche Burnley who's putting everyone behind the ball and lumping it up. But now it's a chance to go toe over toe, and it could be a big scoring. It really could. I can see Andrew there saying 7-0. Have a bit of that. So Burnley for me, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it is that end game. Hopefully it is attacking, and you'd surely expect our defence and Nick Pope at the minute, who's got back to form, to keep a clean sheet and put a few past the Clarets. Now we see the last couple of questions before we sign out. Let me go back. Shearer, Kane, Rooney, start, bench, sell. Start Shearer, bench Rooney, and sell Kane. I just think Rooney overall was unbelievable. Even though obviously Kane's goal scoring record, but got to start my man Shearer, bench Rooney, and sell Kane. Score prediction for Burnley. I'm going to go 3-0. Says Andrew's asking, John's asking. 3-0 Newcastle, actually, for Saturday against Burnley. Cheers, Geordie Greats. Long live TMC. You can see behind us. Long live TMC. Give tonight time, he'll get better just like Gordon. He will. He got better last night. To be fair, I thought he had a honking first half, but second half he had some good spells. Need to batter Burnley, says CJ. Pope's old team. Good point. Pope going up against them. Thankfully, there's no Chris Wood there anymore to go up against them. Heard Willock is going to be fit for PSG. I'd be surprised at that, Although, who knows really how. He said Willock wouldn't be back until after the international break. But then again, Joe Linton was meant to be out for a few weeks, and he was out for what? A week and a bit, 2 weeks? And he looked harry to me last night. And yeah, that'll round up tonight's live show. Remember, people, every Thursday at 7 o'clock, Toon Talk Live. Get you involved in the chat. 2 or 3 topics. We'll run through them all. The cup draw, the City reaction, a bit of a Burnley preview. And once again, shout out to Circle for sponsoring this one. Link is in the description. Scan the QR code. Couple of quid to play to win $1 million. Big bucks on offer there. Cheers again, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure you give this one a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the Magpie Channel TV, and I'll see you on the next one.